Welcome to Slade Saturdays. I'm Kat. If you're new here, I talk about things all spooky, ooky, and conspiracy theories, Bigfoot. Let's get into all of those things. But today we have a new criminal who I never heard of, but is a lunatic, like crazy. And we are talking about Pedro Lopez, the monster of the Andes. So Pedro Lopez was born to his mother, Benita Lopez de Castaneda. Also, I'm going to mess up all of these names, so just bear with me. Okay. She was a sex worker, and his father was Madaro Reyes, who was married to another woman at the time, but was having an affair with Benilda. He was having an affair with Benilda. Pedro was the seventh of 13 children. Yes, 13 children. And his father was shot and killed 6 months before Lopez was born when a rebellious mob attacked the grocery store he was in. This attack occurred at the beginning of the Civil War in Colombia, known as La Violencia. Lopez's mother claimed to be very loving and caring, but he would object to that and say she was very abusive and cruel. Pedro was caught molesting one of his younger sisters when he was 8 years old, and this is when his mother kicked him out of the house. Instead of taking him to therapy or taking him to figure something out, instead of being a mother, she just threw him out on the street. So, Victor's on the street. Not saying that what he does is right or whatever, but you don't throw your kids out like that. I have 3 myself, and even when they're 18, I'm not going to kick them out. So, anyway, getting back to the story. So he molests his sister, he gets kicked out of the house, and upon being homeless, he runs into a pedophile. He was a pedophile, and he sodomized him multiple times in an abandoned house. After this incident, Lopez decides to join a street gang for protection, and at this point is when he started to experiment with drugs. So a drug called bazuco, which is a derivative of cocaine. The gang would often fight others with knives and belts for food and places to stay. After spending 4 years surviving on the streets, Lopez was taken in by an American family and sent to school at a school for orphans. But he ran away after he was molested by a teacher. So this kid is pretty much has endured a lot of sexual violence at a young age. It kind of makes me think, like, maybe if his mother would have taken him to therapy, and, like, where would he have seen that type of behavior? Like, not blaming his mom for all of his actions and making him being a terrible person. But at the end of the day, it just shows you nature versus nurture. As a young adult, Lopez would start to steal cars and go to chop shops and sell the parts to the cars for money. But he was arrested in 1969 for an auto theft and sentenced to 7 years in prison in Bogota, which is right here. While in jail, he was brutally gang raped by 3 other inmates. In retaliation, he made a ship for himself, hunted them down, and he fucking killed them with his bare hands. It says that he strangled them. He strangled the ringleader with his bare hands. Sorry. I was short-circuiting for a second. Hold on. Not sponsored. The killings actually gained him, like, a lot of respect with the other inmates. And he was only sentenced to 2 years after these murders. Like, after he killed all these people, he was sentenced to an additional 2 years on his sentence that he was currently sentenced to. He was currently serving. Following his release in 1978, Lopez became somewhat of a drifter, which would make it perfect for him to rape, abduct, and murder young prepubescent girls. Well, he ran into some troubles when he attempted to lure a little girl from an indigenous tribe away and was caught and buried up to his neck, and the tribe was going to have ants eat him alive. But an American missionary stopped it, and he wanted the police to get involved instead of them deal with it. Afterward, he began traveling through countries of Colombia and Ecuador, abducting and murdering more girls along the way. Police initially believed that it was a slavery or prostitute ring, like human trafficking situation going on. Following a flash flood near Imbanto, Ecuador, in 1879, the bodies of 4 missing girls were uncovered. Then a few days later, this motherfucker attempts to abduct another girl at a market, and her mother catches him. And at this point, everyone's pissed. They're all like, we're about to lynch you. Like, you're done. And then the police storm in and save his ass from getting lynched in the streets. And they interrogate him. But Lopez remained quiet. Despite the lieutenant threatening to kill him, he stays silent the whole time. At this time, Captain Pastor Cordova enters the room and is like, let me interview this guy right now. So he goes and he enters the room. Oh, sorry. He enters the room and he gains the trust of Pedro Lopez, and that's when Lopez told him that he could find one victim in a cabin outside the town. When the police went to the cabin, they found the body of a young girl who is nude, laying on an old mattress. He was later identified as Ivona Giacomi. After Cordova asked Lopez how many girls he had killed, Lopez looked upwards and said 200 in Ecuador, some 10s in Peru, and many more in Colombia. This sick son of a bitch. So nonchalant, too. I'll just, like, barely know this guy, and you're like, yeah, I killed these guys, and I killed these people. Like, it's something that you say at the bar. When you get drunk, you're like, and you're confessing to your, I don't know. It's just strange. I don't see why he thought it was, he could trust this inmate, but whatever. He's an idiot. Lopez led police to more than 30 graves. After learning that he was going to be charged with murder, he stopped cooperating and declared his innocence. A total of 53 bodies were uncovered in Imbanto. Even though the graves had been emptied by flash floods or scavenged by animals that the investigators could find them. Lopez's minimum body count is 110, while his maximum is 300 or more. And many police officers have reported just popping back in here from the future to tell you that he used to dig up their bodies and have tea parties with them. That's all. Overall, Pedro stops cooperating with police and he pleads his innocence. He was convicted of murder on, let me see, 3 murders in 1980 and sentenced to 16 years in prison. This motherfucker only was sentenced to 16 years in, and I'm pretty sure he got out on good behavior. He was deported and gained Ecuadorian civilship in 1974, but he couldn't produce any evidence of this. In Bogota, Lopez protested that he as he was subjected to a medical evaluation demanding to be set free, even though an angry mob had gathered outside with the intention of lynching him. However, nobody ever charged Lopez for murder outside in Colombia. Still reluctant to set him free, the authorities moved Lopez to El Espinal, where he resided decades earlier with his mother, in hopes that one of his older victims would come forward. A local woman named Alba Sanchez claimed that in 1979 she had seen Lopez walk away with her daughter Florida from her home before Florida's body was found raped and strangled outside town. The MO was identical to Lopez's known murders in Ecuador. Lopez was found guilty after a short trial, but his defense attorney demanded that he be subjected to psych. Lopez was committed to a psych ward for a while, and then he was ruled sane in 1995. My birthday. Hold on, I didn't do up here. Let me find my brush. Hold on 1 second. There it is. He was ruled sane in 95, my birthday, and in 98 they had a new evaluation, deemed him sane, and he was released on $50 bail. What? $50 bail. That's it. He was told that he had to report to police every month, and he did not. He refused to do so. Sorry, I got to talking, and now I gotta speed up my makeup. I also read that they have linked him to another case. I saw that he was linked to a case in 2002. Then I saw that he was linked to a case in 2012. And this motherfucker would be 75 by now. So if you see this, Mr. Pedro Lopez, you can go eat a bag of dicks. For real. You're a sick, twisted motherfucker. And I just would like to be in a room with you for like 30 minutes. Anyway, horrible story. The young girls mostly were indigenous, so who knows how many people he actually assaulted. Like, how many people he killed, but how many little girls do you think that he assaulted? If his body count, the lowest number was 110, and at highest 300 or more. What do you guys think? Who should I talk about next in the comments? I'm open to suggestions. Anything spooky, I'm into it. If you like this video, I love you and thank you. If you share this video, same. Just show me some love on here, please. It pushes my videos out into the algorithm so more people can see me. I want to be able to do this full time. I literally love true crime. I'm obsessed with Bailey. I'm obsessed with Danielle. I'm obsessed with Brittany Vaughn and Anna Templeton. I love you guys, and you guys really were a huge inspiration to me. So I'm trying to get into this. Let me just put my lashes on and I'll be right back. Thank you for watching. Tune in next Saturday for our next episode. It's gonna be spooky. It's gonna be wild. Buckle up, bitch. We're going for a ride. Bye, guys.